This is a quick review for how to embroider your Oregon map. Cut yourself off an arm's length of thread. Patiently thread your own needle with a short piece sticking out of your fingers. You can wet it and flatten it, and you just need time. Pull it through about 4 inches. On the other end, you may tie a knot. So make a hook, curly Q, under and through. You'll see a pretzel. Hook, curly Q, under and through, and pull them till they line up to make a nice big stopping knot. This is the back of my stitching, and I have come to the end of my thread. I can leave it dangling, take my needle off, or I can try and tie a knot in it. Store your needle up in the corner of your sewing so that it doesn't get lost. And dangling, like I said, is fine because it's the back of an embroidery piece. You won't want it to be very short. You'll want it to be a couple inches long. And you can also try tying a knot. Again, it's make a hook, make a curly Q, then put the tip under and through, and try and hold it so that it stays down near the surface of your fabric. Maybe even grab your needle to hold it down as you pull it tight. You may need to move your embroidery hoop as you go. I'm lining this up to leave space where I need to sew. Put the plain one under and the adjustable one over, and you can re-tighten it. We're using backstitch to make a solid line on our map. You poke the needle up from the back. See the needle peekaboo? Just a short distance away from our last stitch. Hold on tight to your needle so that the tail doesn't pull out of the eye. And then poke it back down through, grab it, hold on tight to your string, and finish your stitch. Let's see it one more time. Poke up, grab, hold, and pull. Poke backwards down to the last stitch. Poke and hold that thread as you pull it through to complete the stitch. Let's watch again in slow-mo. Peekaboo up, grab it, and grab that string so it doesn't pull out, and then pull, 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 poke back down. This is called a snag. It's happened because I work so quickly. I'm going to try and use my needle or pull it apart with my fingers before I get discouraged. Now, if I can't get the snag undone, then I would just cut it off and start with a new piece of thread. But I'm lucky it came undone. When I can't sew anymore because my embroidery hoop is in the way, I remove it, take the top off, and then move my embroidery to a new position. Hold it still, and then put it back down over top. There does need to be some fabric to grip onto. Retighten it, and you're set to go again. Make sure your thread stays in the middle of the hoop. Otherwise, you need to redo it. What if you want to stop using one color and start using another one? Well, cut off your old color, leave some dangling, about 2 or 3 inches. You can leave it there, or you can try and tie a knot, curly Q under and through, and like I said, try to hold it down close to the fabric with your needle while you pull it tight. I can trim it then a little bit shorter. Never cut your tail completely off. Sometimes you can totally mess up. I used this blue string for too long. That is not a river, so I can take it out. I just bit by bit use the needle to pull the thread out of where I don't want it. Easier than erasing. What about solid areas like lakes? Well, you're gonna do the same thing and come up and then go back down somewhere along the side. Make a normal stitch. Then you're gonna come back up very close, but not the same hole, and go across again right next to your last stitch. This is called a satin stitch because everything is kind of colored in one direction and it looks like satin. Have fun building your embroidery skills and completing your Oregon map.